Salakia, back in Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 69, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and in reproach and trodden under foot. So it says, those that consent to this will be had in derision. Derision. Contemptuous, contempt, so it's ridicule or mockery. And reproach and trodden under foot. Verse 70, for there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. So let's go into the word insurrection. Insurrection meaning a violent uprising against an authority or government. The insurrection was savagely put down, so they use it in a sentence. So, although, that January 6th thing was an insurrection, I believe certain people had got shot. They did bombard and storm the Capitol, and that's what gives them the justification to put up fences and basically letting you know that they're maybe at war with the people, Nonetheless, that's not a real insurrection. A real insurrection would have been like what happened in Kazakhstan. I believe that was Kazakhstan, where they basically, they said there was, protesting, and it was an uproar, uprising based on the fuel prices, but it was more than that. It was because of the mandates and whatnot, and to the point they had to get Russia involved. They had to get a few different countries, other countries, involved in it, because at the end of the day, the citizens actually start attacking, they leaders. And it tells you in Second Ezra chapter 15 about it'll be sedition among men, evading one another. They shall not regard the kings or princes or the authorities, roughly paraphrased. And they shall hold, it slipped my mind, the course of their actions should stand in their own power, roughly paraphrased. So they gonna try to, they gonna stand up. They gonna basically they gonna fight against the government. So you ain't seeing that. You're not seeing that like that in America right now, but you're gonna see it on a what. Put it like this: you seeing certain things happen in other countries, but when it happen here, it's gonna be to the max. Like the guy Big Jaw for YouTube, he likes to say to the max, because you gotta remember America is like the most, their civilian population is like the most heavily armed civilian population in the world. It says, for there shall be in every place in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. They shall be like madmen sparing none. It talks about who was they? Is Esau Edom. It tells you in the book of Revelations that the devil should come down with great wrath. Well, the physical counterpart to the spiritual demon Satan, who, Satan's children is these red Hebrew Edomites. It talks about Satan being a man. Thinking Thessalonians, Second Thessalonians, I want to say. Verse 72, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. When you brothers like to equate this verse to that scene of Batman Dark Knight Rises, when Bane basically had him and his soldiers going into the different because basically he went after the wealthy. He went into to those different high rises, and was taking those people out of their homes and taking their goods and just throwing them out on the street, casting them out on the street. And that will be the case when it comes to You know, like I said, when you read that article, they're talking about basically detaining those that refuse to either submit to, observation. So if they say that they want to come test you and you refuse, they can throw you in one of these camps. That's the bill they're trying to pass. Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Makes me think of 1 Peter chapter 4 about how it talks about beloved, thinking not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you as though some strange thing happened unto you. Because at the end of the day, when you come down to the realization of it, if you look at these things with a spiritual eye, you'll realize that, tribulation is basically a trial. Trial basically breaks down to a test. Ultimately, this all comes down to test, this whole movie, this whole life, which is a movie that was already scripted out. At the end of the day, that's why you can't choose the Lord. The Lord chooses you. And that's why the brother Tazadakia made a statement. He said, you should be thankful that you were chosen, because everybody's not chosen. You should be thankful that you was chosen to do this, to get this, because you could have, you got brothers that came from all walks of life. We got a man that literally played football professionally. You had men that was going to be boxers. You had men that have known certain actual actors that was going to act, but they gave all these things up for the truth. Sacrifice comes in many ways, shapes, and forms. And it's gonna be more for sacrifice. That's just the truth of the matter. Yeah, it's not pleasant, but it's the truth. And as a man, women rather be lied to for real. That's that's why you got to tell her. 9 times out of 10, you gotta paint a picture and sell a female a dream. I remember when I was in the world, we used to say that shit. Got to sell them a dream. You got to tell a woman what she want to hear. And that's to show you how the gullibility and how naive a woman is. Because for the most part, if she digging you, she could see certain shit a certain kind of way, but you could tell her and reassure her and she'll believe that. I never was good with sugarcoating shit. You know what I mean? I tell my children that are children to this day the truth. Because at the end of the day, we coming into times where we all gonna have to, if you can't see the world transforming in front of your eyes, you are literally blinded, and the Lord do not give a fuck about you. Now don't get me wrong, the Lord can wake a person up at any time. You know what I mean? It talks about in the scriptures about how when the Lord gave the men the talents, and the one man hid his talent, and he said he took it from him and gave it to the one that had talents. So that's like the spirit. The Lord can take the spirit from you and give it to another brother. You've seen that happen. The elders speak on that man that was in the truth and fell out. So where do you think that spirit went? Why do you think that other brothers woke up? It talks about the spirit being like the wind, go to and fro. So, saying all that to say this is because basically life is about, good and evil, righteous and wicked, light and dark, and you got the spiritual children of Satan, and you got the spiritual children of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's duality. That's a balance. Scriptures talk about balance. People talk about how the Most High God is all good. You not all good. Let a person that ain't never. What's that movie with fuck his name is Jim Carrey, when Dick and Jane, when they both was like yuppies, and they had both had executive jobs and shit, and they both lost their jobs. So what did they do? It's a comedy, but what they do, they end up resorting to crime. They start robbing shit and shit. So nothing is completely pure, especially down in this, when you understand that this place is actually like a cesspool for wickedness, like nothing is pure here. The only thing that you see is pure is when you look at the scriptures and you look at men trying to live the scriptures, But even trying to live this, that's why we say we were rehearsing the righteous acts, because you cannot keep the law here. When you understand that it's a sin to eat pork, that ain't a Muslim thing. That's in the scriptures. At the end of the day, though, when you understand that, and to be truth be told, my name is Yusuf, so I think I could speak on it a little bit. At the end of the day, when you understand that Islam is like one of the oldest so-called religions, and understand that they actually took a lot of different of their practices from Christianity. When you go into how a woman is completely covered up in Islam, that's a custom they took from Israelites. You know what I mean? You wasn't supposed to look upon another man, woman, if you wasn't aware. But Salakia, saying that all to say this, that we coming into times where, these trials are about to get a lot more faster, and because we at the time of the end, prophecies popping, these prophecies popping like popcorn. You got literally Biden got troops off over there. He got damn near 10,000 troops on standby, along with NATO. War could break off at any time. You got niggas talking about some fucking Rihanna pregnant. Who to give a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, Rihanna don't give a fuck about you. Like, wow. And it talks about woe to them that give suck in the last days. Like, money ain't gonna save you with this shit. Like I said, the cold part about the Most High God, you can have a bunker and thinking you're gonna escape this shit, and the Lord cave the fucking, cave in the rocks, and you stuck in that bitch. Facts. You gotta remember, bunkers ain't nothing new. They was talking about a nuclear. They was thinking that you had people back in the 50s having bunkers because they thought it was gonna be a nuclear war back then. Remember that? They show that shit in movies and shit. I'm gonna end the lesson on this. At the end of the day, because I had to do the video like way over because Satan is busy. But I'm gonna say this to say I'm gonna say that to say this. At the end of the day, we coming into very, very serious times. So you have to be serious minded. Brother Tazadak from Ancient Days is going into the Lord looking for men and not boys. And there's enough scriptures that talk about gird up thy loins like a man, and the tabernacle of the Most High God is with men, and I got one I'm gonna end it on. This book of Proverbs, chapter 8. Proverbs 8 and verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of man. Now that's clear cut. It don't have to be broken down or nothing. At the end of the day, that's why Revelation 21 talks about his tabernacle, his house is with men. It's a man's duty to do this. And women play a part, you know what I mean? They don't, it's beautiful when a woman is in her right mind and when a man is in his. When a man is in his right mind and when a woman is in hers. And you're not going to get that like that on this side. This place is defiled. Like I said, our children are tainted. To the point where, like I say, a woman could use, and that go back to the curses though. When you look at it, like it talks about how her eye will be evil against her husband and her children and all that. You'll have a woman so fucked up and bitter, she'll not only trying to hurt the man, she'll hurt the kids too. So with that, we need deliverance. So with that, all I can say is, if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. If not, you shall be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, and all glory to called Loyum, like Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Rachak. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone who do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so, now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord, willingly this is edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. Until next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. And Mawaf Lababal, shalom.